what is Crockxen, clan members, book fans, and others who have stumbled upon this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and today we're doing an episode X and Y, or review for an episode of X and Y. It's episode 35, and oh my gosh, Hawlucha is so cool. I didn't think it was going to be this good. I really didn't. I'm actually surprised, but I freaking love this episode. It was, oh my gosh, X and Y is doing it right. It's doing it right. And actually, Hawlucha's the reason. I mean, freaking the title is because of what Hawlucha does in this episode. It's freaking hilarious. Okay, so Hawlucha episode is essentially the gang meets or enters a forest because they're gonna reach the next city. And in that forest, they see a group of little tiny Pokemon. I believe it's Pachirisu, Patrat, and Sentret. They're, they're not harvesting. Well, I mean, you could kind of say harvesting, but they're basically storing away berries under a tree trunk, like rodent Pokemon tend to do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure rodents just do that in general. But anyway, so they're like putting their berries in there, and then the gang are like, "Oh look, it's so cute and adorable," and they're gonna leave. And then Big Bad Ursaring, I've always wondered why they make Ursaring look like such a bad Pokemon. I mean, I don't know. Teddy Ursa is just so cuddly and adorable, and I mean, you could technically still cuddle up with an Ursaring. I'm just saying. But every time they show Ursaring off in the anime, that was a very grumpy Pokemon who hates everything and just wants to destroy people. But anyways, so Ursaring shows up and he's like basically bullying the Pokemon. He's like gonna steal their berries. And then Ash and the gang hear the screaming, and they come back. They're like, "What is going on?" And the freaking Ursaring's like, "Ah, this is mine." And then Bonnie actually is the first one to get, like, they're all mad and they're all, but like Bonnie's like, "Hey, you!" And she like runs down there, and then Ash follows suit. And then she's like, "Hey, you leave those Pokemon alone. You give them their berries." And I'm like, tell him right now, Bonnie. You tell him. You put him in his place. And then Ash is like, "Yeah, you leave him alone." And then like Ursaring's like, "What? Who are you?" And freaking Hawlucha just like swoops down from out of nowhere and like lands on top of the tree, like starts jumping on the branches. And at first, I actually was gonna make this the title of the video. I was like, Hawlucha, the watermelon Pokemon, or watermelon wrestler, because that looked like he had a watermelon on his face, like a mask. And I'm like, the dude already looks like he's wearing a mask, and he's wearing another mask on top of that. But it ended up being leaves. It just looked like a watermelon, so I was like, I felt dumb. But then again, like I said, it looked like a watermelon. But anyway, so he took that off, and then he started fighting Ursaring, and he just like he was going ham on Ursaring. Like her Ursaring couldn't even touch the man. It's like bam, like karate chop, and then he freaking like he did his like I said, WWE status. That's why I put it down. He like made a pose, and then he jumped down, and then like he grabbed Ursaring, on his throat with his legs, and he like spun him and slammed him to the ground. He was like, "Ah!" And he was like, it looked like a chokehold for a second there. I was like, "Whoa!" And then he started smacking him with karate chops, and then like finally he like high jump kicked him in the chin, like bam. And he's like, "Oh gosh!" And then he was laying down on the ground like a WWE mat, and then like just started going up on the tree branches again as if he was climbing the ropes. And all of a sudden he's like on the top, and he makes a pose like he's gonna jump. He's like, gotta look down, gotta please the crowd, and he like jumps down, and he's gonna do flying press. So basically, and but the thing is, he messed up. He missed. Kind of like WWE, they always miss. That's how stupid that show is sometimes. But essentially, he's gonna land, and then Ursaring actually gets out of the way, and he slams to the ground. And I'm like, well, and then this guy shows up talking about how Hawlucha always has to pose, and they're all questioning why he did the pose and how he needed. Like Bonnie's the one that's like, don't pose, just do it, just jump, just do it, attack, because like it's gonna waste time. And then essentially what ends up happening after that is Ursaring is, oh my goodness, he like went back, grabbed a boulder, he's gonna smash Hawlucha in the head. I'm like, dang. I like this. I like this dark turn that Pokemon's doing. This is what needs to happen. I need to see. I mean, Pokemon's always been like. I understand it's supposed to be a kid show, But this is an anime we're talking about here. There needs to be dark moments. It's not all supposed to be nice and cheerful, which is one of the main reasons why Paul's my favorite rival. He brought out the he was a douchebag, right? And then like, but so I need this sense of, hey, not everything is gonna be nice and lovely and great. So I like the fact that it looked like Ursula was legit gonna kill, or like he looked like he was gonna murder Hawlucha right then and there. And then Ash actually shows up and like has Pikachu Iron Tail the Rock and actually smacks against Ursula's head and like runs away like a little bitch. and and then Ash, this is the greatest part. Like Ash is like he extends his hands and like Hawlucha actually grabs him and like gets up. It's like it was like if this was actually like an anime series where it was regular two people and then just one's like lifting up the other. Like it was nice to see. Like Hawlucha is a Pokemon that's meant to represent a human person. Yeah, it's a bird, yes, but Lucha Libre is something that's it's a human thing. So the fact that he was treated how a normal person would react to that situation was it was just nice. I like that part as well. Um, and so Hawlucha ends up booking it, and because he's got some training to do, right? He's got to perfect this flying press. And then Ash and the gang go with the guy that showed up, and they go to this cabin because Ash is all excited about Hawlucha. He's like super stoked. I mean, this is Hawlucha here. This boy just went ham on Earthring with no problem. And so I like talking about him. And then apparently, the backstory for Hawlucha is that in this forest, he suddenly showed up one day because it's basically a forest full of fighting type Pokemon, and they're always training. So he came by to basically test his strength, and he ended up fighting people or fighting Pokemon, and winning and continuously getting better and beating other people or other Pokemon, and continuously going up the ladder to where he was beating even stronger Pokemon until he basically met up with the champion, and then he became the forest champion, guardian of the forest, the one who protects the forest essentially. And then and then they're like, hey, we gotta take basically Ash is like, or the guy's like, I could take you to Hawlucha trains. They're like, yeah, let's go. And then they pull this, and I really like I said, I really enjoy the fact that they're doing this. They basically go to like Ursaring, right? And he's like with a Conkeldurr, and they're like scheming and plotting, and they end up going into this cave where there's a Machamp, and I'm like, are we gonna have a gang here? This is gonna be a Pokemon gang? What the heck? Like I was like, whoa, we haven't seen one of those since the Meowth one. Well, actually, the Persian one. Meowth wasn't the leader. Persian was the leader. We haven't seen like an actual gang of Pokemon. Like I believe since those. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that was the last. Like it was an actual like gang of Pokemon who were like just nefarious and bad. And they go in and they're like explaining to Machamp how Hawlucha was stealing fruits and berries from the Pokemon and was being a bully and all this stuff. And I'm like, you sneaky bastards! Which means that Machamp is actually a good guy. So I was like, okay, I want to see how this plays out. And then, so Ash and them get to where Hawlucha's training, and he's like in a waterfall, like doing the flying press onto the water. And again, Ash walks up to the water and picks up Hawlucha like before, just extending his hand and helping him up. And I'm like, I like this. And I hope we see more of this. I'm just so essentially what happens after that is they keep training and training, and Ash actually tells Hawlucha to fly press against him so that they can perfect the move because Ash really wants to help him. And Hawlucha's like, okay. He's like, well, what about you? And he's like, I'll be fine. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, Ash is taking so many beatings from so many Pokemon, I'm pretty sure he can handle another one. And so like they're practicing, right? And then Ash keeps thinking, like he's like looking at the Prime Press, and they apparently they messed up so many times because Ash has been dodging it because he's trying to get Hawlucha to be faster. Like he still wants Hawlucha to do his pose and everything, but like to kind of speed up the flying press so he can actually hit his opponents. Except unlike what happened with Ursaring, where Ursaring dodged. And so what ends up happening is that Ash actually comes up with an idea of how to do it, and then like they do that typical thing where he'll say it, but we don't get to hear it. And so like all we get is the can you do it, or are you is that good, or that last phrase that to get confirmation. And I'm like, what the heck did you say? I want to know. And then Machamp and them show up, or actually Ursula and Conkeldurr show up, and then the guy's like, those are the Forest Bullies. And I'm like, so they're technically a gang. Well, I mean, so if there's only two of them, I don't know if that's considered a gang. I think that's just a duo of bullies. But I like the concept. I like this concept of Pokemon being bad. I like it. I like it. Because this is how normally animals would act in real life. Bears aren't nice Pokemon. They're not nice animals. Well, I mean, I wouldn't know because I've never met a bear. I've never talked to a bear, so I can't ask them, hey, are you mean? Bears can't talk. But Ursaring can say his name. So, there you go. And then Machamp shows up, and then the guys talks about Machamp and how Machamp was a previous champion, and then like how Machamp and Hawlucha locked horns or fists because they don't have horns. Why did I say horns? I'm just out of it. Wow, just saying stuff that makes no sense. But essentially, they were rivals, and then Hawlucha ended up beating Machamp so many times that Machamp basically relinquished his title as the Forest champion. So we know already that Machamp is a good guy because he basically does what Hawlucha does now, or he did what Hawlucha does now, meaning that that obviously, I mean, we obviously knew he was tricked in the beginning, but I actually it could have been like, I don't know. The point is, Machamp and Hawlucha duke it out, and they're doing it like that typical testing each other's strength status, where they're like each hitting each other, but it's still like not really fighting. And then freaking Conkeldurr and Ursaring are in the back, because Machamp actually is the one that told them, don't get involved, this is a one-on-one. And then they just freaking get involved. Freaking Conkeldurr smacked Hawlucha with his cement block, and then the Ursaring just punched him in the face. And I'm like, what the heck? What are you doing? And then Machamp is like, whoa, what just happened? Like, he's confused, right? And then Ash and the game are like, what are you doing? And they're like, 3-on-1 isn't fair. And all this other stuff is going on. And I'm like, what the heck? And they just start beating Hawlucha. Just, like, straight up beating him. Like, just punching him and hitting him with the cement blocks and just throwing him on the ground, picking him up and smashing. They were going, oh my goodness, it was ridiculous. And then freaking Ursaring was holding Hawlucha the way that bullies hold other people. Like the typical, like, holding him like this so the other guy can punch him in the gut. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then Machamp is like, I ain't gonna have this. And he freaking jumps up and smacks them both in the head and knocks them out. And he just takes them. Like, one day we're gonna finish this fight. And I'm like, dang! It's ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. I was like, Hawlucha, no! But, you know, it worked out. It worked out fine. Ash then ends up battling Hawlucha because, you know, to finish it off. And Pikachu's like, I'm ready. And Ash's like, no, I'm going to use Froakie. And I'm like, no! I mean, obviously, I feel like Froakie deserves more screen time because he's still, I'm pretty sure Froakie right now is his worst Pokemon. I'm being legit serious. I honestly think Froakie is his worst Pokemon. Because he loses I mean, Fletchling is doing bad too. I don't like that. But this, Fletchling will get his new episode tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, next week. He gets his episode next week. So Froakie ends up fighting Hawlucha, and they're doing this whole thing, and then Hawlucha basically does what Ash told him, and we got to hear what it is. Essentially, just like pose in midair, and then turn and spin until you get that initial boost in while you're falling, and then flying press them. And both Froakie and Hawlucha are knocked out. Ash catches Hawlucha after Machamp gives him the okay that he can leave because he's got this. He's the new forest. He's got his title back. He's gonna protect the forest. And then episode ends, and I'm like excited because this episode was awesome, and Hawlucha is awesome, and I am super stoked about next week where Fletchling gets to rape a Talonflame. Yeah. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been SoresanCrockxen. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Episode links in the description as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.